Hi, this is Matt McGinley from McGinley.info. Part 1, The Trusted Advisor. The chain of command. There is a flow of power and information from authority sources that creates a trusted advisor. For example, an authority status can be the government or an elected official, someone who has community status, someone that has been given accolades or power given to them by a social group such as a school or educational institution, a lawmaking body such as a legislature or legislator. Um, for example, the director of the Center for Disease Control mentioning something about a hand sanitizer would be considered newsworthy, and everyone would want to know about that. However, a person who was just saying that they used a hand sanitizer is not given the same authority status. However, if that person were to say that they read that the director of the Center for Disease Control recommended a certain hand sanitizer, that person would be able to tell their friends that the director of the CDC made the recommendation to use this kind of hand sanitizer. And in that way, the knowledge and power of a authority figure or a trusted authority now creates the halo effect for a trusted advisor. All right. So that's basically the premise of this presentation. And now that I've told you that, I'm going to go ahead and give you some information that kind of backs that up. All right. So again, if we had something that said on a tube of toothpaste, FDA approved or AMA approved, American Medical Association, that authority would be giving us a certain amount of status that we would say we trusted information. Likewise, there's professional status. Although 4 out of 5 doctors recommend something, we're happy to say we would use that because 4 out of 5, the majority of doctors recommend it. The 1 in 5 that hasn't, we're not really concerned about. Additionally, that could be extended to teachers as well. Now, there's something called social status that we get from our friends and family, which is also called social proof. That is, if we're in a group of peers or colleagues at work, we're less likely to step outside of the norm and try something or suggest that we're going to try something kind of without their approval. The one in the group is usually seen as a trusted advisor, is the one that has information from authority or professional status sources. The one overriding factor, of course, to authority, professional, and social status sources is the mom factor. And this is it's a mix of really all three. There is the obvious intelligence and knowledge that goes with parenting, particularly moms and child rearing. But if you go a couple of levels beyond that, there is an exchange of information by word of mouth between mother and daughter, grandmother and daughter, grandmother and child that gets across the idea that there are certain things that we're going to know and trust that are really given to us by word of mouth. That we may be told something by the government, we may be told something by a doctor, but a lot of times you say, "Hey, mom, what do you think about this?" So, in the chain of command, becoming a trusted advisor, do not rule out the mom factor. It's very powerful. Okay, so as we just discussed, there is a roadmap, if you will, from a trusted authority that leads to a trusted advisor. And basically, it's a halo effect. You can have this effect through social or professional contact. It could be a meeting that you have with a person, or you could attend a conference or seminar, or take a course in college. There is a phenomenon known as the Oprah effect. Oprah, as a person who recommends certain authors and books. As a TV personality, she has a very wide reach, but if the product or the book is mentioned on Oprah, it immediately tracks and trends as something that is on the what's hot list, and therefore you can always say, well, it was on Oprah. Did you see that? And again, the knowledge and authority that comes from these sources creates what we have as trusted advisors. So the conclusion of this part one is you really want to be a trusted advisor for your customers. That is, when they come in or they interact with you, it's not like you're giving them advice. What you're going to be giving them is really expert knowledge on a given area of your business. This could be your service, or this could be the products that you're using with your service. They customers they rely on you for information about changes that are going on in the marketplace, and they're looking for benefits and things that are of value to them. Everybody's trying to get as much as they can out of a dollar, but that dollar, if it gets invested in something, it has to last a long time. It has to go the distance. It can't just be chasing cost and getting the least expensive option all the time. That is why professional services in particular are sought out, and that's why those professional sources of information um, become very reliable authorities. All right. So as you go through this kind of a thought process, this is kind of where you need to think. In what fields and in what areas are you recognized as an authority, as a professional or expert? Think about instances where people have sought your advice, asked your opinion, um, asked for your knowledge or guidance on a specific situation or problem. And as you go through that and think about that, you're going to be actually creating a roadmap for what kinds of things are really in demand in your business. In other words, it's not so much the product itself, but the understanding about the value of the product that makes them purchase it and where they got the information. All right? So the next thing is, how do you add to your learning on an ongoing basis to keep on top of the competition? That is, if the guy down the street has the same product, what would make it more valuable for your customer to buy it from you? Is it warranty information? Is it information from the manufacturer? Is it something that lets them know that this product has a reliability beyond just what they might already know? And then finally, how do you usually get this information across? Are you able to stand around and talk to all your customers, or are they looking for this information somewhere else? So the next steps in terms of where we're going with all of this, we're going to preview part two in terms of sharing your valuable information. The trusted advisors and knowledge experts are linked through communications. Again, the first example was the director of the CDC. We're going to find out that that information makes major national news, and people read about it in the print media. They'll see it on television, such as newspapers, cable news networks. But some of this information is not gotten directly from things such as newspaper and TV shows, TV news. It's found online by searches of websites by Google and Yahoo and Bing. So what we're setting you up for is to make sure that you as a trusted advisor, you as a knowledge expert in your field, that information that you have that's unique to you, that it's available for your customers to find. Because if that information is not easily found, it means your business is not going to be easily found. And if your business is not easily found, it means that they're shopping someplace else. Okay? So stay tuned for part two. We have that coming up next. Thanks for watching.